Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to pick my April TBR. This is, I know everyone always says it, but this is literally my favorite video to make, and it's like my favorite thing of the entire month. I cannot wait every single month to do this. I feel like it's so exciting. I don't even know why. Like, it's not like I'm buying books. I'm just getting books off my TBR, but I just think that it is so fun. So every single month I have my TBR jar here. I pick around 7-ish books a month. Do I always read all 7? No. But I still try to. A lot of the monthly TBR videos that I watch, they usually have prompts and they pick from the prompts, but I'm just too indecisive to do that. Like, I just don't want any choice, really. Like, as less choice that I can have, that is perfect for me, because if I were to pick a prompt, I would just pick all the books I want to read, not what I have to read, if that makes sense. Because there is so many books on my TBR that, like, I know that I need to read, but if I just had a prompt and I'm like, I probably wouldn't even pick them. This way is better for me. But honestly, if you're thinking of doing a TBR jar or like a prompt jar, 1000% recommend it. It is very, very fun, and it does knock books down off your TBR, which I feel like this is like a common thing with all readers, but literally never ends. So my TBR jar it's actually color coded. So I have blue in here, which blue refers to like fiction books. I have purple, which is my fantasy, which I have more purple in here than anything. I have pink, which is romance. And then I have red ones, which is like thriller / horror / mystery. Before I did color coding, I just had all my books in here, same kind of paper. But I found that like I would pick books in genres that I'm just not really, I just don't want to read those this month. So I have done this. I did this for March as well, and I actually do like it a little bit better because, you know, I'm actually picking books that I want to read in genres that I actually want to read. This wouldn't be a proper video if I didn't have a drink. So my drink of choice, it is all mixed up, okay, so it looked a little bit better, but this is just a iced Rebel. I have blue raspberry and vanilla in here, and it had soft top on it, but now that it's like gotten down, it's mixed. It's still pretty. I love Dutch Bros Rebels. Like, it's just something about it. I think the reason why I like it so much because Red Bull is like my #1 energy drink ever, like of all time. It is the only one that doesn't have that like artificial sweet taste. It's the only one that I prefer. Not to go on a whole rant about it, but I feel like the Dutch Bros Rebels taste very, very similar to a Red Bull. So I think that's why I like it. I just went on a whole rant about it, but I used to work at Dutch Bros, fun fact, and I would drink a Rebel every single day, which is like not good, but they were free, so why not? So I will pick about 7 books, like I said, but I have added a rule for myself where at the end I can only swap 1 book. So if there's like 6 books I want to read, but one of them I really don't want to read, I just pull another one. But if I pull another one, I have to read the one that I pulled. I can't switch again. So that's my little rule that I made for myself, to where I can give myself a little bit of a choice, but not much. Because sometimes you're just like really not in the mood to read a book, and I don't think it's fair to read a book when you're not in the mood for it, because I feel like your rating is going to be a lot lower than if you actually wanted to read it. So let's just pick our first one. I am very, very excited. I feel like I am going to pick more fantasy than anything, and probably some romance. Not really feeling fiction at the moment, and I'm really not feeling thriller. I haven't been feeling thriller in a minute. I feel like I'm very much a mood reader, and thriller is it's a fall genre for me. So, not really into thriller right now, but we'll see. We'll see what we pick. I'm gonna mix them up. This paper that I chose, it's like the construction paper. It is very hard to fold, and it becomes unfolded all the time, and it is very, very annoying, but we'll figure something else out later. Let's just pick our first one. I'm definitely going to pick a fantasy first, so let's just do that. I'm gonna pick one that's like at the bottom. We'll pick this one. Okay, so the first book that I chose was The Cruel Prince. Funny story about this is that me and my boyfriend, we flew to Las Vegas like last year around April or so, and I was not a reader in April. Like, I read as a child growing up, but I kind of like slumped out of it for like a while. This was the book that I brought on the plane with me, and I ended up DNFing it. I don't know. I was not in a reader mode, so, but I'm excited to try again because a lot of people rave about this series, and I keep seeing character art, and I'm very, very excited. So let me pull this book. So this is The Cruel Prince. This is by Holly Black. This is a series. I couldn't tell you how many are in it. I think like 4, and I think there's like a little novella style book in there. Yeah, like I said, I like DNF'd this at like literally like chapter 5 or 6. I did not get very far into it. I'm really excited to try again because I do like the basis of the story, and it has a map. And if you know me, you know that I love maps. So, but let's read the back together. Jude was 7 when her parents were murdered, and she and her 2 sisters were stolen away to live in the treacherous high court of Fairy. 10 years later, Jude wants nothing more to belong there, but many of the Fae despise humans, especially Prince Cardan, the youngest and wickedest son of the High King. To win a place at the court, Jude must defy him and face the consequences. Yes. Like, that sounds very, very good. I feel like I have heard so many mixed things about this, though. I don't know how I feel about starting another series, but this is something that has been on my TBR probably the longest. Like, I think this is definitely, I've had this book for definitely a couple years now, and I have not read it, so I'm actually excited to add this one to my TBR. Let's pick a little romance, okay? I'm feeling a little romance. Alright, let's pick this one. I have been reading cowboy romance lately. That is just a different level of romance, and I really just love cowboy romance. Like, there is just something about a hardworking man. I say that all the time, but it's just, I just love men that men. You get what I'm saying? If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. I'm so sorry. Let's see what we picked, though. Okay, our second book is Does It Hurt? Hopefully you guys can see it. This is very, very funny. Let me get the book. Okay, this is Does It Hurt by H.D. Carlton. I picked this book up because I just keep hearing crazy things about this. Like, insane, like holding her head underwater. Insane things, okay? And I'm like, I'm getting FOMO. I haven't read a dark romance. I have read the Butcher and Blackbird series, but I really don't think that's dark romance. If it is, then I have read one. But I feel like this is a little bit darker than that, so I am excited. When I bought this book, I posted it on my Bookstagram, which I'll tag down below, and a lot of people said good luck. And that scares me a lot because what do you mean good luck? What does that mean? Like, genuinely, what does that mean? Does that mean I need to contact my therapist after I read this? Let me know, because this book scares me a little bit. I'm very excited, though. I just have so many mixed things, but let's just read the back. Who am I? I've forgotten the answer to that question long ago, ever since I ran from that house so desperate to escape. I left with only the clothes on my back and socks on my feet. After that day, I've only ever walked in stolen shoes. Could I be a girl who was searching for the meaning of life in faceless men? They were all so forgettable until he came along. He took me under a waterfall and made me forget my name, and in return, I took his instead. Enzo Vitali? I don't know. There's a word in here that I literally don't know how to say. I'm gonna put it on the screen, and don't judge me, okay? I'm not an English major, I'm a nursing major. Okay? Man that will ever love the deep sea, or rather the predators that inhabit it. Turns out he's not so different from the monster he feeds. He lured me onto his boat like a fish in the ocean, seeking vengeance for my crime. Had I realized his intentions and that a massive storm would leave us shipwrecked, I would have ran. Now I'm a girl who's seeking refuge in a decrepit lighthouse with a man who loathes me almost as much as he craves me. He wants to hurt me, but the old caretaker of the abandoned island must have intentions far more sinister. It's no longer a question of who I am, but rather will I survive. This sounds like Naked and Afraid, okay? What is going on? I don't think I'm any more intrigued after reading that. Yeah, I'm scared now. We'll see if I read this one. That genuinely is scary, but let's just pick another fantasy. We'll pick this one. I have so much fantasy on my TBR, it's actually insane, but that's just my favorite genre, and it always will be. Ooh, okay. So the next prompt is Kindle. So I can pick any fantasy on my Kindle, so let me get my Kindle and let me find one. If I have any fantasy arcs on here, I'm going to try to prioritize those because I'm getting behind, okay? I'm getting real behind on my arcs, and it's very scary. Ooh, okay. I definitely have something in mind, but let me see. Okay, I have two options, and I have a feeling I know what I'm going to pick, but my first option is Cruel is the Light by Sophie Clark. This is a YA fantasy. Very much intrigues me. I was so excited when I got approved for this on NetGalley. So, that's definitely my top contender right now. But the other one that I'm thinking about is Fable for the End of the World by Ava Reed. I haven't read a single Ava Reed book. I have A Study in Drowning and then A Theory in Dreaming, I think it's called. The second one. I have both of those. I don't know. Because Fable at the End of the World, it is a standalone fantasy. It is YA. It is a queer book as well, which is very interesting. I don't know. Cruel is the Light hasn't come out yet, and I would be very stoked to read that before it comes out. I should have read Fable at the End of the World before it came out, okay? But shoulda, woulda, coulda. Cruel is the Light just sounds so freaking good. Okay, literally when you open the book, it gives you a picture of the back of the book. So let's just read it together. So it says, a bloody war between demons and the Vatican have been waging for more than a century, but never have demon infestations become so persistent, nor random attacks so close to the Vatican itself. It's during a series of deadly breaches that two elite soldiers cross paths. Celine Avella, a high-ranking exorcist running from a dark fantasy legacy, and orphan Jules Lacroix, sent to the front line and unrivaled on the battlefield. The distrust and unwelcome attraction they have for each other is obvious. But to get to the bottom of the demon insurgencies and the secrets haunting each of them, they strike an uneasy alliance. He'll pose as her fiancé and accompany her to the heart of the Vatican to find answers. Jules challenges every truth Celine thought she knew when he suggests an unthinkable conspiracy. Yet even as Celine questions who her most dangerous enemy really is, Jules has begun to suspect that it's him. Unable to ignore their growing feelings, the two must make an impossible choice between love and duty. That sounds so good. Literally so good. This is not really related at all, but I watched a documentary that my sister actually recommended to me where it was like a missing child from the Vatican area, which, if you don't know, Vatican City, I believe, is like near Rome or Italy area, and they never really have crime or like abductions, and then someone gets abducted and it became a whole thing, like the Pope got involved in it. It was a whole thing. Okay, not that that's like related at all, but when I read the Vatican, that's kind of what it made me think of. But that sounds amazing. Okay, I am definitely going to read that. It says it comes out May of 2025, so that is like literally perfect. The cover is stunning. I'll try to find a picture and insert it here, but yep, I'm picking this one. I am so excited to read this one now. Alright, so we got 3 books going on. I'm going to pick another little romance because I feel like they're good fillers. I'm hoping to get an Elsie Silver book because I still have not read a single Elsie Silver. I know. So let's hope that we get one of those for April. So our next one is Practice Makes Perfect. Very, very cute. Let me go get it. Okay, this is Practice Makes Perfect. This is by Sarah Adams. This is actually the second book in the When in Rome series, which I don't even have the first one, okay? But I heard it's like an interconnected series. You don't technically need to read them in order, so I think it's okay. I have been wanting to read this one so bad. I actually picked up this one when I picked up Beg, Borrow, or Steal. When that came out, I just picked up both of them, but they didn't have the first one. So I think I'm just going to start with this one. If I can't, if y'all let me know, like you got to read the first one to understand the second one, let me know down below and I will go and get the first one. But I'm very, very excited to read this one. Let's read the back because I don't know what this is about. So the little top portion up here says, a small town sweetheart and an emotionally unavailable bad boy try to find some common ground in this chemistry-filled romance. That's a lot of words. I don't think I want to read it all. It does say at the bottom here, it says, amid steamy practice dates and strictly educational tutoring lessons, Annie discovers that there are more layers to Will than his usual stoic attitude. As the lines of their friendship become dangerously blurred, Annie reconsiders her dream guy. Maybe her love life doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be real. That sounds so cute. Like a little friends to lovers vibe I'm getting from this. Small town. You know I love me some small town. Emotionally unavailable bad boy. That sounds toxic. I'm very excited. I have heard, though, that this series, like, my friend's reading When in Rome. She really liked it. And then a friend that I have on Bookstagram, she told me that the first one is good, but it literally gets better as you keep reading the series. So, I'm excited. I'm very excited to add this one. So this is going to be our third book on the TBR. I might pick the rest fantasy. I don't know. We'll see if I get a thick one in here, but let's pick a fantasy. Okay, our next pick is... Ooh, I'm so excited for this one. The next pick is The Veiled Kingdom. Okay, this is The Veiled Kingdom by Holly Renee. This is the first book in a trilogy, I believe. I think there could be a fourth one coming out. I'm not sure. But this is the first one. My friend Yaz and Trika, they love this series so much. I was actually gifted this book by the lovely Liv. She gave it to me for Valentine's Day. I'm really excited, actually. I know that this is a romantasy. First of all, can we take a look at this font? That is ginormous, so that excites me a lot because I feel like I'm going to read this, like, super quick. The page, the little chapter, that is so cute. But let's read the back together. Fleeing my father's cruelty, the wicked king who robbed me of a future, I faced death in the streets, caught between a rebellion and a tyrant's reign. Captured by those sworn to kill me, the rebels remain blind to my true identity, the missing daughter of the despised king. Faced with an impossible choice, I stand before them, join the rebels or face their blades. Yet Dacre, the son of the ruthless rebellion commander, becomes torn between suspicion and a desire that mirrors my own. He allows no one to touch me, tries to protect me, yet threatens me at every turn. As secrets are weaved beyond our hidden realm, a fierce battle unfolds within me. As I get closer to the rebels and their cause, my loyalty to the kingdom clashes with my undeniable devotion to Dacre and the burning connection between us. In a world where love and hate are two edges of the same blade, I find myself caught in a delicate dance between forbidden desire and my looming destiny. Sounds like a classic romantasy. I do love that, though. I love when the male main character is like, no one can touch you, but I hate you, and I don't even want to touch you myself. But if anyone ever touches you, they're dead. Like, that's literally enemies to lovers, but just that whole interaction in enemies to lovers is like the best thing ever, because it's like, what do you mean no one can touch me, but then you hate me? It's perfect. If you know, you know. I'm very excited for this, honestly. I have faith. If my friends like it, I have faith that I'm going to like it too. So this is the fifth book going on our TBR, so we are going to pick 2 more books. I still haven't picked anything like thick, so I'm going to keep going with the fantasy here. Okay, let's pick our 6th book. Okay, I am so excited for this book. So I picked Dark Rise. I am beyond excited for this book because I literally saw a single person talk about it in their YouTube video and I immediately bought it. I fear I am gullible, but let me go pick the book out. Literally so excited. This is Dark Rise. This is by C.S. Paycat? I'm not really sure how to say it, but this is this book. I am so excited for this book. This is in a series. I think there's like 4 books in the series. I think so. I saw it at Barnes & Noble the other day, and I think I only saw 4. So, this is a fantasy. I think it's more like a magic-focused fantasy rather than like... I don't think there's like dragons or anything really in it. But let's read the back together. The ancient world of magic, along with its great battles between light and dark, has disappeared. But as Doc Boy Will is about to discover, it has only been lying in wait. Will's life is forever changed when an old servant tells him of his destiny to fight beside the stewards. those who have sworn to protect humanity from the Dark King. He's ushered into a new world and must quickly learn to work with the stewards as the reborn participants of the long-forgotten wars have begun to draw fresh battle lines. But the reawakening of the descendants of light and dark also reignites the old flames, old alliances, and old enmities? Never heard that word before. Can Will and the last heroes of the light prevent the dark fate that destroyed the old world from returning? Yep. Literally, yep. I am so freaking excited for this book. I don't know when this came out, actually. There is a little quote on the front. It says, "I simply couldn't put it down," by V.E. Schwab. Yeah, you know it's good because it's V.E. Schwab. This came out in 2021. I didn't know that. But there is a map. That is really cool. I love maps. I am very, very excited, and it is not thick at all. Like, I feel like this is like a 3-dayer right here. I am very excited to add this one. I am on a book buying ban. That's why I didn't really want to start like new series, because if I like it, it's like, I'll check if it's on Kindle Unlimited, hopefully, so that I can keep reading it. But I'm very excited, and this cover is so beautiful. Wow, I'm in love. Let's pick our last book. We're going to pick one more romance because I have like 4 fantasy right now and only 2 romance. So I'm going to do like 4 and 3. So we'll pick one more romance. We're going to pick this one. Ooh, okay. I got Beach Read. Very exciting. Okay, this is Beach Read by Emily Henry. This will be my first Emily Henry book. I know, okay? I picked People We Meet on Vacation literally in January, okay? And I didn't end up reading it. I didn't have time to read it. Literally, Onyx Storm took up my entire January, and it wasn't even good. So, what a waste of my time. But I'm really excited to read this one. I feel like this is the one that I feel like most people, this is their favorite book that she's written. So let's read the back together. Augustus Everett is an acclaimed author of literary fiction. January Andrews writes best-selling romance. When she pens A Happily Ever After, he kills off his entire cast. They're polar opposites. In fact, the only thing they have in common is that for the next 3 months, they're living in neighboring beach houses, broke and bogged down with writer's block. In one hazy evening, one thing leads to another, and they strike a deal designed to force them out of their creative ruts. Augustus will spend the next summer writing something happy, and January will pen the next great American novel. She'll take him on field trips worthy of any rom-com montage, and he'll take her to interview surviving members of the backwoods death cult, obviously. Everyone will finish a book, and no one will fall in love. Really. That sounds really, really cute. It's giving, like, friends to lovers. I'm really excited for this one. I know that it's not summer, so I'm not going to get the full experience, but I'm going to Hawaii in June, so this is gonna set the mood for me, okay? And when I'm in Hawaii, I'm going to bring another Emily Henry book to really set the mood, but I'm so, so excited for this one, too. Let's go over my April picks. Okay, so the first book we have is Cruel's the Light by Sophie Clark. That is a fantasy. Next one we picked is Beach Read by Emily Henry. We have Dark Rise, Veiled Kingdom, Practice Makes Perfect, Does It Hurt by H.D. Carlton, and The Cruel Prince. So, it's up to me if I want to switch any of these books out. And I'm kind of thinking of switching one, but it's like if I switch it out and I pick a new one, I have to pick that one. So it's kind of hard, but I'm really debating switching Does It Hurt out, because I don't know if that is really my vibe that I'm going for right now. I've been into just like cutesy little romances or a romantasy, and this just does not feel that currently. So I want to give the best chance I can for this book, so I kind of want to read it when I'm really in the mood for it. I think we're going to pick a new one, but I'm just going to pick another romance to like keep the same genre going, but I think I'm going to pick another one. We're going to pick this one. Okay, so the book that we got is Binding 13. I am so scared. I'm so scared, guys. Okay. This is Binding 13. This is by Chloe Walsh. I know, you're probably asking yourself, you still haven't read that yet? That book was amazing. It probably is, okay? But I'm just like so genuinely scared to read this. One, because I don't think it's going to live up to the hype that everyone sets this book at. 2, I hate this cover. If 2014 was a book cover, it would be this book right here. I just hate it. I hate this cover, and it's like, not to like judge a book by its cover, but like, yeah, I'm gonna do that, and I'm so sorry. I just wish I had the UK version of this book, because the UK cover is stunning. It's beautiful, magnificent, everything you could ever want. And then you got this, okay? The pages are so long, and I've heard that like it goes by so fast, and like when you're reading it, it doesn't genuinely feel that long, which we'll see. I can also read this on Kindle Limited because I know the whole series is on there, so I might just end up doing that. Okay, here is our April stack. I'm very excited, actually. I feel like we have a pretty good stack here. We have a good mix of romance, mostly fantasy, but I feel like we got a good mixture going on here. I predict quite a few 5 stars from this, so I'm really, really excited. Let me know down below, though, what books have you picked for your April TBR?